we're gonna keep on going. Learn about these oil situation here. We learned 1517 to 1917 these oil fields were under Turkish rule. The British and U.S. started wells in the oil after World War One. They dug 7 wells in Arabia and found nothing, and they dug one more and they found oil on the 8th on the New Beginnings. So they had 7 little oil wells. I drew little oil wells there. See, and they hit because they knew, you guys, that just like with the Russia situation with Alaska, when they got it and they said, oh, we didn't know, hey, we'll give you this much for it, and then all the minerals and resources were there, but who knows. And the same thing here is they knew in the that land, anywhere where there's sand and that stuff, you guys, that's once where water was, and that was ocean life. And then where does oil come from? And people think just dinosaurs. I was surprised to find out that the kids, that's mostly what they say too. But when you find out that it's plant and decay and stuff, that's why the Garden of Eden and over there by Kuwait, that's one of the richest places. I mean, life originated over that way, but it's for the plant life, you guys. And that was sunk. The Garden of Eden was sunk. So we got the oil wells dug, and where the sand was ocean lies, like I talked about. They knew about the true north being knocked off and everything that happened. See, the history from nation to nation, they hide information about stuff, and it's not shared because knowledge is power. And then when they do share it, they're not really giving them the top knowledge what they got. So they controlled oil. It was control money. It was usury, you guys. It was just the corruption. It was the New World Order's move. The Arab League replaced by the United Nations. See, they had their own league, you guys, and you can read about this. This is history and books. That's one thing that saved me, is God never ceases to amaze me. Every time I look back, I'm like, wow. You guys, because I had a laptop, probably, I don't know, it's probably 6, 7 years ago. And that was really the first computer I ever had, and I had it for about, I think, 2 or 3 years, where I was just using other people's here or there, or go, wherever. My laptop stopped working. I wasn't on the internet for years, you guys, so I was in books. So I was kept kind of away from all the garbage and everything that was out there, and I always did look at books. And so I started looking in books that was in the past, you guys, that where books are hard to get to now, and you got to sift through information. And that's why I suggested to you guys in the beginning that books are sometimes easier, because people throw them out and everything's computerized. They're like, I got a bunch of good books, you guys, at garage sales that were brand new, but they'll throw them out. I got books from the 1930s, you guys, and like books like the Lincoln Essential Knowledge of Library, and they update that each year, and the books go way back, and that was books they sold so people would know what was going on in the world. And it tells you all this stuff. It tells you the government, it tells you all the people's names, their lineage, the wars. They're great books. The Lincoln Essential Library or Knowledge Library. So you guys always remember, like we talked about, and if you haven't seen them, look at the Revelation videos, so you know the chronological order of events and times, and know the seals and the trumps, and know what's going on, and know that Christ appears shortly after Antichrist. And don't be deceived, you guys, okay? That's, remember when we went over the seals, the number 1 seal was Antichrist was coming, and the 6th seal was Antichrist was coming. 7th seal was true Christ was coming. 7th trump, true Christ is coming. That's the sound. Because Satan's coming like the wolf in sheep's clothing, you guys. The churches out here, you guys, they change the form, God's word, and they change the doctrine to suit the people, the form of political correctness. And churches, they were needing money, so they tapered to those people's views or perspectives, and that was part of the problem. But like when you know, it wasn't all the church's fault too. At the same time, you guys, there's times, think about it, when no one wanted to come, and we had them eras where atheism and the different stuff we talked about was real big, and then where occultism got real big, and the churches lose people over that because they go different places. So it's kind of a battle back and forth, and you kind of even see it, like I had talked about before. In Toledo, they'll argue over the churches, kind of the members. The one will put up a billboard about something. Hey, we believe this and this and that. It's kind of like forgiveness of sin, which all sins are forgiven. It's someone else's business, you know, them and God. But, you know what I mean? They'll put something up there like, hey, you know, it's okay to do this, come on in, which you should let anyone come to your church, you know. And then the other people on the other side, hey, this isn't right. And then they'll go against something, hey, but you can do this. And it's just, instead of teaching the truth, you guys, setting people free. It's, like I said, that's where we're at, and it's not all one person or one church or one anybody's thing. It's where the world's at. You guys, like I said, the 2 witnesses, okay, you got them coming back. Satan's got spiritual control on earth, you guys, when he's here. They got the 4 dynasties. We read about that in Daniel 1, verses 3 and 5, Daniel 8, 23 and 26, Revelation 13, 11 and 18, and Revelation 17, I think 12 and 17. I think we got also, like you guys, things to remember is Joshua, like I said, and Ephraim. That means all the tribes. The beginning of all knowledge and wisdom, you guys, Proverbs 1:7, is to revere, is to fear and love God. The beginning of all knowledge is to reverence. And that's why some people want to be called a reverend, but I'm not going to get into that one either, because then I'll be picking on people. And it's better not to talk against your brothers and sisters in Christ too. Honestly, with everything that's going on, we need to be stuck together. But it's just, you guys, like I said before, you know that the false teaching, that aggravates me, because then you got to spend all that time cleaning up those muddy waters from those people. But that's our job, and we'll do it, and we'll get it done. You guys, Ezekiel 28, Satan will be turned to ashes. Revelation 21, no tears in heaven, blotted out. Something to remember too. And just like Matthew 5:17, he says, I came to this earth to fulfill the law. I changed not one jot, one tittle, not one little iota. So see, blood ordinances is fulfilled, you guys. Okay, but the health laws and stuff are still there. We need to be eating healthy, okay? If we put junk in, we're going to get junk out. That's like if we put a lot of meat's not good for you guys. A lot of meat, it's just dead meat. You're not really getting nutrition out of it. I'm not telling you not to eat meat, but it's just some things to look at. If a diet will change the way you feel, and it'll clean you out, and it'll help you, especially water. And make sure you're drinking good water. And if you guys have a problem with water, 2 2-liter bottles and sweating it out like that with a tube running from one to the other, it's a great way. Alright, bye guys.